Welcome back to the Alpha Strike for another episode of our set review for the Superior Foes of Spider-Man. As you see here, this is our Uncommons review. So we're just going to jump right into this. We're going to review these hard and fast and get you guys in the know so you know what to expect from these characters. We're going to touch on what they do and what we think they're going to be good at and what you're going to want to use them for. Eric's going to start us off
with the Ben Reilly Uncommon Scarlet Spider. So he, of course, has the Colin Help from the Spider-Verse, which we'll go over in this video once again. It is once per turn for all characters with this trait. When Scarlet Spider hits an opposing character, after actions resolve, you may roll a d6 that cannot be re-rolled. On a 3 through 6, place another friendly character with the Spider-Man family keyword adjacent to this character, setting up more awesome just spider whackingness.
Spider whacking. Is that like futter whacking?
I don't know. He also has this cool attack power on his first 3 clicks. It has impact webbing, which I think is really cool. When Scarlet Spider makes a range attack, choose 1 for each hit target, which he does have, I believe, 2 bolts or 1 bolt? 2 bolts. 4 range, 2 bolts.
Shoot 2 people. Whip.
Give the character an action token, or that character can't be moved or placed until your next turn. So it's almost like the Spiderweb trait, but a light version that has options.
Yeah. So you get an action token, which could make you push out so you wouldn't be able to do anything. Or if you're a close combat piece, and be like, stay right there.
You're not going anywhere. You're not charging anybody, sorry. And then, just simple stats after that, running shot, and then charge. Pretty basic, 18 defense on top. I like that a lot. Super senses. Just a spider. For 80 points, I think he's really fine. I always love the wild card team ability for Spider Family. So
a lot of utility there. Goes from running shot to charge. Just basic all-around attacker. I'd almost say secondary to primary, depending on how much damage you're looking at outputting. And then got the tie-up, and he can lead out and bring in all his spider friends.
I gotta say, he probably has the most mobility of the spiders. He has ignore, hindering, elevated, and outdoor blocking.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
So he just gets around. So keep that in mind, guys. He's very mobile.
Up next, we have Toxin. We've got Monster Police keywords. Alien Symbiote trait. This is going to be the same trait for all of the Alien Symbiotes, to my understanding. He can use plasticity and shape change and automatically breaks away. So just can't pin me down and I can hold you where I want. And, always have that rollout. Basic powers all the way around, nothing else special. Starts with leap, climb, and poison with an 18 defense. So it looks like you're looking to get him where you want him to be and pin them down so they're not shooting somebody else and trying to hold your own. Going into invulnerable, so he's looking to take a punch first and then be even harder to take down. Sidestep and super strength with battle fury after that, so he's canceling the shape change rolls at that point. And then that's pretty well it. 6 clicks, just utilitarian goodness.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention on Scarlet Spider, he has New Warriors and Spider-Man family.
Alright, up next
we have Mary Jane, one of the love interests of Peter Parker.
One of the many.
She has Spider-Man family and celebrity. I mean, come on. You've seen his body, he's like all skinny. He has all the girls. With muscles.
Yet he can't seem to keep any of them for any length of time. I mean,
he's too busy saving the world.
Gwen Stacy died, MJ left him, Black Cat's mad at him.
His life with girls is just so much drama. Typical teenager. Alright. So, she's pretty simple. 25 points, 3 clicks long, perplex on all of her dials. That's great for 25 points, as it is.
25-point plexer.
Yes, but her trait makes her awesome with all Spider-Mans. So, adjacent friendly characters named Spider-Man modify their attack by +1 and can use their carry ability, but only to carry Mary Jane. And she is not unique. So you could play multiple Mary Janes and have a bunch of clone Mary Janes.
So that's 3 Mary Janes on 1 Spider-Man. Absolute happiest moment of his entire life. He gets +3 to his attack and 3 perplexes to, triple perplex up his defense.
Or up his attack or his damage. Just go nuts because he gets a +1.
Or if you wanted to, shortchange points, you just throw JJ in there and +1 to attack, perplex, and a perplex +2. I mean, the Spider family is just supporting that Spider-Man.
Yep. And then, of course, she just has reflexes to keep her safe. 15 goes to a 17 up close. Otherwise, she just gets shot pretty early on. But I think she's pretty good for her points.
Up next, Silk. Keyword, Spider-Man family. That is it.
That's fair. I like that.
Fairly new character in the Marvel Universe, to my understanding. So, I'm not expecting to see a lot of keywords there. But hopefully, they'll expand her character going forward. She also has the call and help from the Spider-Verse. Then her special attack power, she can use Incapacitate. When she does, she can use it normally, or she can use it if she had 3 targets, but doesn't give an action token to the characters with 0 action tokens. So you can target 3 people, but you're going to want to make sure to target them if they already have an action token to make that worth it. And then she can use probability control with her special damage power. And during an opponent's turn, she may use this probability control to reroll her use of super senses instead of an opponent's roll. So, yeah, you got to roll what, a 4 to hit me?
Yeah, I'm
just
probably
my super sense roll. Other than that, she's pretty well a ranged character. Starts with running shot with both of those special powers, super senses. Most of her dial goes into sidestep with some close combat. So again, we're seeing this trend of starting with the range, moving into the close combat, and then regen to get her back in the fight for 70 points. So again, I wouldn't call her a primary attacker just because of the damage level, but definitely a secondary.
Yeah, your first guy does damage, and then she tokens them up so they can't retaliate next turn.
And then with that calling the Spider-Verse, I mean, you triple incap, calling your friends.
Woo. They use their web markers and keep them really down.
They're really focusing on in-cap super senses and what was the other power? I've seen a lot of regen.
Yeah, like just one click single in the back just to bring them back. I think that's kind of cool, honestly. All right, so I got Nightwatch, who I think is just a cool looking figure. Yes, he's got maximum carnage keyword. So hey, maximum carnage help there. Future and Scientist. Improved movement ignores elevated hindering, so he's pretty mobile. And he has a trait called the Cape Protects Me. Nightwatch can use plasticity.
Swan! Sorry, I have this cough.
You okay, man? You just need to get that out of there. All right. After declaring action tokens, choose an edge of the square he occupies. Lines of fire drawn to him that cross that edge are blocked until your next turn.
That's pretty cool.
That is really neat. It'd
be nice if they gave you a special marker token for that, kind of one of the walls, where it could be kind of like a cape.
You mean another Clicks Effects base? Like we don't have enough of those things?
You could put it on there, you could angle it, be like, okay, it's from this side.
It'd be able to too. So if you guys actually had a little Clicks Effects token pack, I'm sure you can use the walls in there.
There you go.
So that might be good too. And then the trait, it says, it moves as if it was a part of me. Nightwatch can use Perplex, but only target himself. Wow, trade Perplex and a line of fire that can block any direction. For 85 points? Sign me up. That's pretty good.
It's pretty solid.
Starting click, he has 4 range, 1 bolt, 8 with stealth, 10 attack, 17 with invincible, and that damage power. Oh, sorry. The most part of me is a damage power, not trait. The stars look similar. But yeah, then moves down to charge with Quake and 2, so he's not losing anything on the Quake. I hate Quake with 3 damage sometimes.
It's why am I quaking? I could be punching you for 3 or 4.
I approve of the Quake 2. And then he goes down to sidestep blades with 2 shape change and reflexes. He becomes a close combat monster with that regen on the last click, and we keep seeing that last little regen, which I think is... I love that about this.
How many points is he?
He's only 85.
It's not bad.
Not terrible at all. Pretty good click there.
Alright, up next, DeathAdder. Serpent Society and Assassin. Trait, Sneak Attack. We'll cover this again. DeathAdder can use phasing teleport when he does and moves 3 squares or less. After action is resolved, he may make a close attack. So I can move a little bit and then hit you. Moving through everything. I don't, maybe it's because I haven't really read the Serpent Society, but I don't understand why they can move through walls.
Maybe they can go really skinny. I don't know.
Silent Stalker. DeathAdder can use stealth. When he occupies water terrain, lines of fire can't be drawn to him by non-adjacent opposing characters. So that is awesome, but this wave still cuts right through that.
Yep.
Claws and spikes and poison. Man.
All those S's.
Sounds like escaping steam in here. DeathAdder can use Blaze Claw's Fangs, Poison, and Giant Reach 2.
Dang.
Oh my goodness, that's a special damage power. Damage dealt by DeathAdder to characters 100 points or less cannot be reduced below 1. So it's basically Precision Strike, but they can still Super Sense out of it. So he starts with Flurry and that special damage power. Close Combat Expert drops into Exploit with Toughness, Plasticity with regular blades, and then back to Flurry. He is an all-out, I'm going to beat you into the ground. Has traded stealth and the ability to hide in water trains. So you're squeaking him up there. I would have liked to have seen. Never mind. He can use phasing teleport.
Phasing teleport.
So I was gonna say I would like to have seen a way to avoid the hindering, but he's got traded phasing teleport and stealth. Wow.
Can't really argue with that. He just
I'm
moves.
being wherever I want to be. I'm gonna jump out of the water and I'm going to eat you. So I don't know, 60 points. My goodness, this figure just keeps getting better. Yeah, definitely hats off to DeathAdder. The only thing I can say is sculpt reuse, lame.
Yeah, something they gotta do, I guess. Alright, going on to the good stuff here. We got another symbiote, Venom himself. He's got Sinister Syndicate keyword, Brute, love Brute, Monster, and Reporter. I love that he has Reporter.
He was a reporter before he was Venom.
Eddie Brock is a reporter. He has the symbiote, alien symbiote trait, which we covered. He has another trait called tasty. When an opposing character takes 3 or more damage from one of Venom's attacks, after action resolve, heal Venom 1 click. And he has 3 damage on his first 2 and last 2, and then he has blades with 2 on his middle dials. So he can almost always
That's
deal
basically
3.
steal energy as long as I'm hitting you for at least 3.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be, have to take 3 damage, I guess, but he has exploit. So.
And the blades, if I hit you for 6, that's still 3
Still
after.
3 somewhere, yep. And then he has a special defense power on the middle 3 clicks. Says you can't spell team without eat. Of course, was
Or meat.
Or meat, yeah. Venom can use defend and toughness with his big 18 and 17 defenses there. And then at the beginning of your turn, you may deal an adjacent flank character 1 unavoidable damage to heal him 1 click, pushing him back up to
Wait, so hold on. Defend with an 18. Hey, buddy, come stand next to me. I'm hungry. Okay, I'm good to go.
Let's do this.
I'm going to protect you, but then I'm going to eat you.
Yep. And then he also ignores elevated only for movement purposes. So I think he's really good. I think 125 points is a little steep, but he does have 7 clicks of life. So he will get in the fight. He is all charge oriented.
Hulkbuster torso.
He has invul starting off though. So there is
starting off, but he loses it as he goes down.
All toughness the rest of the way down.
But if I'm reducing by 2 the whole way and I can steal 1 life back, you've got to hit me for at least 4 for that.
Yeah, seriously. So. The problem is he's getting there fast. He only has 2 to charge, and then has the rest are stealth. So you want to get him in the fight as fast as possible.
No TK in the set, so you're gonna be reaching out to other sets to.
That's not true. This guy.
Oh, one figure I didn't know. Devil Dinosaur.
100 points.
1 character with TK.
Top dial TK.
Be ready to cherry pick him in your seals. Alright, up next, we are AntiVenom. Monster Reporter. Seems kind of familiar here.
He's still Eddie Brock, so.
Still Eddie Brock. Alien Symbiote, we covered that. I am the cure. You are disease.
Oh no.
Give AntiVenom a free action, and you may counter a different. Okay, you may counter a different power on each opposing character within 2 squares in line of fire until your next turn.
Typo there.
So on each opposing character within 2 squares and line of fire, similar to Beast, but Beast doesn't need line of fire from Uncanny X-Men.
His is 4 squares.
So it's 4 squares.
It's a Beast light.
But free action to just be like, hey, you're close, counting your powers. Everything else is pretty straightforward on his dial. Charge, Blaze Claws, 18 defense, Super Senses, Exploit with 3. I would have liked to have seen 2 with the Blades because I hate to have to decide between
half and
3
half.
and 2.
Ugh, it's so hard.
Sidestep with Toughness and Support. Support right in the middle of the dial. And then Regen and Stealth. So run away, hide, come back, and get back in the fray.
Or heal those other buddies. Alright, next we have Cottonmouth here from the Serpent Society with the keyword and Brute keyword. He has a sneak attack trait. How I almost tried not to say it. It was so hard.
Sneak attack. Sneak attack.
He has a special attack power called Your Big Prey, but still prey. Gosh, I tried to say guesses. Cottonmouth can use turn it off, okay? Cottonmouth can use Blades, Claws, Fangs, and Super Strength. If he uses Blades, Claws, Fangs while holding an object, the attack can't be evaded and the object is not removed. So, on that top dial, he has, 10, 10, 17, 4. But on the last part of his dial, he gets that power where he has Super Strength the whole time. The whole dial is Super Strength, by the way, at either 100 or 60 points. And the last 3, he gets that Super Strength with the Blades Claws, and then just keeps it for when you really want to use it.
Good luck with that, Spider-Man. Oh, what's that? Your super senses can ignore Precision Strike? It can't ignore not being able to evade me.
Evaded, yeah. So he gets through Spider-Man's defense there. And then on his first 2 clicks, the 100-point dial, he gets this really neat damage power. Jaws like a steel trap. Cottonmouth can use Exploit Weakness. When he does, Cottonmouth modifies his attack value by +1 for each action token on a targeted character. So, starts off with a 10, could be a 12 if you targeted a push character, saying maybe Silk put more tokens on people because she's on your team and sealed, because it could happen. Or other ways to give in-cap. There's so many in-cap ways out there, guys. I think these Super Society guys are made very, very well. Aside from that, yes, 6 clicks of life, pretty good for 100 points. 4 clicks for 60, not terrible. Invuln, toughness, and stealth in the end. We'll see plan in the middle.
The only thing I would have liked to see, and I know it's not ever going to happen, but in the actual description of the powers on the Serpent Society, Blades, Claws, Fangs, Exploit Weakness.
So many S's. Oh, by the way, he does have Indom. 60-point Indom, too. Ooh, could be if you want to. So.
Pretty awesome. Alright, up next we have the Hobgoblin, Sinister Syndicate Soldier.
This Hobgoblin is so cool.
And then, so attack power, he can use Shape Change, and if he does and succeeds, place an identity token on an opposing character's card. So I'm going to stop here and say we should have had some type of special FX marker for this. It's basically what you're doing with him. We needed one. Just saying. Let's see. Place on a character's card, removing it from any other opposing character's card. So it can only be on one person at a time. When Hobgoblin is the only target of an attack and is hit, you may remove the identity token from an opposing character's card to have that character become the hit target of the attack, even if it would be illegal.
So basically, he's hitting not you anymore, but that person with the roll they use, no matter what it was. It hits that character, even if it's illegal, and then does the damage it would do.
Now, he has to be the only target of that attack, so a quick way around that is making sure you're using your multi-targets after he's assigned that token to somebody.
Or Quake.
And make sure you're targeting somebody else while you're targeting Hobgoblin so he can't punt that off to somebody else.
So he does have a linchpin there. So keep that in mind, guys. If he has that token, if he made a shape change, gave it away, try and multi-target him after that point.
Just quick note, again, we mentioned in the unboxing, he's a hard and fast counter to the almighty Mystique, as if he succeeds in a shape change, he can just give her the token, doesn't target her, you go to shoot him by yourself, and he just gives the damage to her, and even if it would be illegal, so passes that right off. And then, yeah, that's pretty straightforward dialed, sidestep, precision strike, 17 defense with toughness, got special power, shape change for the first 3.
Damage power, he said attack power.
Oh, sorry, damage power. And then he just moves into becoming an all-out attacker with running shot, precision. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking for a second. Running shot, Pensai, energy shield deflection, and perplex with Spider Syndicates, Sinister Syndicate, excuse me. See, I'm not talking today. I'm just done. But he could definitely borrow attack power from some of those higher values and make that worth it, doing 3 damage on the pen side late dials. So don't be afraid to let him take a hit, or if he fails a shape change, because he's going to come out rolling and shooting.
All right. Next up we have Jackal. He is just a scientist for a total of 75 points. Not too shabby. He has the Master of Cloning. Oh, I like this trait. So, Jackal can use shape change. Trade shape change, always good. At the beginning of the game, roll a d6 and subtract 3, minimum of 1.
Okay.
And place a number of clone tokens equal to the result on Jackal's card. When Jackal would be KO'd, remove a clone token and place him in any starting area, any, yours or your opponent's, on click number 4. In that click, he's got Mind Control, Precision Strike with 10 attack, 16 defense with toughness, and that special damage power, which gives him outwit and perplex.
Not bad.
So he has that only on his first and fourth click.
Now that's when he would be KO'd?
When he would be KO'd.
So you don't score him
until you've killed all the
clones are gone. So
that's pretty interesting. Instead of having to play a various figure because he doesn't have an actual real name, you just get actual clones.
Just keep throwing him back in there.
And standard dial, besides those two, that one power, precision strike, reflexes top dial, moves into mind control, precision, and toughness, and then perplex. Last click, that same stealth regen, hide and heal. I love the hide and heal clicks. Those are really cool.
Especially they're not being very much stealth busting
right?
in this set.
Improved targeting is like little, not very much.
All right, so we're on to Anaconda, Femizon's Serpent Society, and Brute. Blanche Sidzensky. So yes, this is a woman. Even though in the comics they do comment that she looks like a man, it is a woman.
She's
sneak
a very
attack.
big woman.
So again with the sneak attack, twisted tangle of lengthening limbs. Anaconda can use plasticity and giant reach too. Opposing characters within 2 squares in the line of fire treat Anaconda as if she were adjacent for movement purposes. So very similar in this build to our previous set, Deadpool Anaconda, but a little bit different utility there. I've got 2 squares of plasticity pinning you down, stopping your hypersonic speeds from running past me.
Yeah, that's pretty
Slipping
good protection.
through small spaces. Anaconda can ignore walls when making a close attack.
Dang.
See that mouse hole over there? I'm going to reach my arm through there and get you. So starts with sidestep and then special attack power, which is ignoring walls for close combat attacks. Has the traded plasticity and giant reach, and 2 squares of adjacency, and phase teleport with moving 3 squares for free action. Shape change, phase teleport, attacking, making close combat attacks, free action. Shape change toughness, drops into poison and super senses, stealth, and again, regen, last click.
Last click regen.
Regen with shape change. So, hoping to bring him back into the
Nice
fight.
little rollout. That's cool.
I think this is the exchange for the shorter dials, is that we're getting regen and more healing abilities, more support characters, and lower overall damage values. So we're getting kind of back to the good old days where dials were, 6, 7, 8 clicks deep, but you only had 3 clicks of powers, and you were supposed to get in there and run away, get healed back up, get in the fight, so forth. And they just decided that, let's take it more of a just once you're down, but we're coming back.
Next one I'm really excited about. It's Norman Osborne. I've never seen one in Clicks form. This is my first time seeing one. I'm sure there's been more. But he's got a plethora of keywords. He's got Dark Avengers, Hammer, Sinister Syndicate, and a Politician. So, not bad there for keywords. Has a cool trait. Still wearing the mask underneath. At the beginning of the game, you may place a character named Green Goblin from your sideline on this card on any click and choose a power on that click. And Norman Osborn can use that power this game. So already for 50 points, you're getting a guy with stealth, willpower, and outwit.
Plus whatever
Goblin can give you. And the one common one, which we did go over, right? One of his powers he gives is enhancement and perplex. So for 50 points, you get outwit, perplex, and an enhancement on any of your shooter guys. Wow, and stealth. So you have to actually go punch him most of the time. And willpower so he can really move. That's totally awesome to me. And then he gets that, he goes between outwit, perplex, outwit, and then back to his last style, which is like his Green Goblin Death Scream. Charge, super strength, 17-3 with Battle Fury. Gets through all that shape change.
And Sinister Syndicate TA, so don't worry about that
Yes,
9
he does.
attack, because I'm
can
just going to
borrow.
borrow somebody else's 11.
I think he's a great figure, 50 points. I'm kind of excited to be a good Norman Osborn.
Next, Overdrive. Keyword Sinister Syndicate. So, been a little buzz about him on the forums about being able to spawn a vehicle and how absolutely broken this could be. So,
Tell me about it.
Trait, superior to the other guys. Once per turn for all characters with this trait, if a character uses a Sinister Syndicate team ability to replace their attack value with Overdrives, that character can use Sidestep this turn.
I totally forgot he had that trait. I was so, heard the news about his vehicle thing, I forgot he had the Sinister Syndicate.
Oh, here, take my 9 attack and Sidestep. Traded the world is my getaway vehicle. Give Overdrive a free action when he's adjacent to a standard object, so that could be right next to your starting area.
Yep.
Remove that object from the game and place a charged up bystander in the square if there are none on the map. So charged up is 11 movement with sidestep, 18 defense toughness, and this vehicle can only be piloted by a character named Overdrive with up to 4 passengers. So everybody hop in the back. We're going for a ride. 11 squares with sidestep, so 13 movement.
Dang.
Really not a whole lot to offer in the ways of combat, but definitely a lot of support. He's got Empower, close combat reflexes, combat reflexes, and sidestep. So he's really meant to be a tie-up piece with that Sinister Syndicate to give them the opportunity to get away. But with that vehicle, as long as you've got more objects on the map, you just keep pumping them out. Reaching back to Teen Titans, you got Gizmo, who generates light objects from outside the game. Reaching back to Invincible Iron Man, you've got Absorbing Man Titania, who can pull objects from outside the game too.
Yeah,
so.
And then isn't there a figure? I can't remember his name, but doesn't he make you replace all objects too?
Oh,
is it Mr. Nobody or
Mr. Nobody?
So he can reposition your objects back on your side of the map and just
I've
take
got all
them from
6
you.
of them over here. I'm just gonna
Come get your car if you really want it.
So definitely utilitarian, great taxi piece with Empower to help out those that he's brought along, and you can actually pull that power through vehicle if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, you can give the vehicle his stats and pick a power. You pick the Empower, so the vehicle now has Empower to go. Your close combat guy's punchy power.
now everybody you just carried over.
Yes.
So, not bad.
Not terrible. Another guy I'm excited about, Scorpion. I've never owned a Scorpion flick ever, and he's actually really cool. So this one has Masters of Evil and Sinister Syndicate with the team ability, 50 points with 5 clicks. I love 50 for 5. That just seems fair all the way through. He has movement power on the first 2 clicks of his dial that gives him leap, climb, and sidestep with a 10 speed. So he's moving over everything and then sidestep. So 12 squares he can move.
And he can attack different elevations.
Yes, he can.
For adjacency.
And +1 breakaway. Leap climbs. So many powers. There's so many things that power does everyone forgets about. Keep that in mind, guys. And then he's damage power for the first 3 clicks. It's called Tail Whip. Scorpion can use Close Combat Expert and Giant Reach of 3.
So Giant Reach 3, and you can treat characters of a different elevation as adjacent. So I'm 3 squares away from your elevation, and I have leap climb, so I can punch you
up on top of the roof.
on the edge of the roof.
Because he's considered adjacent for that.
That's awesome.
And he has a 10-2, so you can go 11-3 or 10-4. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Aside from that, it's just standard after that. Click 2 is about the same. Click 3 goes to leap climb only with Quake 2, which I like, ESD, and then last 2 are leap climb, Quake, ESD, and Perplex.
So at that point, has he lost his Giant Reach?
Yes, he only has it for the first 3 clicks.
Okay.
His tail gets cut off later.
Just pull that sucker off. Alright, up next, Spider-Man. Avengers and Spider-Man family. This is the Miles Morales Spider-Man. He's got the Calm Help from the Spider-Verse ability. His special attack power is Paralyzing Venom Strike. When Spider-Man makes a close attack, hit characters are given an action token. This action token doesn't deal pushing damage, so I can at least tie you up. Not a lot of Indom in this set, though, or willpower. So
no, they'll have to at least clear, I guess.
At least if I hit you with a close attack, you're going to be hard pushed to come after me. 2 bolts, 4 range. I have actually used this guy when we did our first venue, the release day venue. I had him with J. Jonah Jameson, and he did some work. Shape change, 18 defense, combat reflexes. He's got that 10 attack, so I was jumping that up to 12 with 2 targets with shape change and sidestep. Drops down into super senses, in cap, and then stealth late dial with the Spider-Man team ability for 70 points. Overall, head and shoulders above the original version that we got in Amazing Spider-Man. This is really, I feel, a stronger representation of who he is. I would have liked to have seen traded stealth rather than just getting in his late dial, because that is one of his major powers, is being able to blend in. But also ignores elevated for movement purposes. So I mean, sidestep to break you out of, your hindering terrain, and then you can ignore the elevated. Not a lot of move and attack, but he does have 4 range. You're just going to kind of get him in position, hope to base people, tie people up, and then tie him up some more with some action tokens.
Does he still have the shield keyword, or did he upgrade to the Avengers?
Avengers.
So yeah, the other one had shield. This one goes up to the Avengers class now. I like that.
All right.
It shows growth in the character, which I think is really appropriate. Because I like Miles. I think he's
And
cool.
last but most certainly not least,
Mr. Hyde. So he's got the Masters of Evil keyword and Brute.
paging Dr. Jackal. Paging Dr. Jackal.
He is 100 points. That's a big point cost, but he makes up for it with a deep dial and this really cool trait. So it's called Unbridled Fury. At the beginning of your turn, if Mr. Hyde was attacked by an opposing character since your last turn, place an anger token on his card. When Mr. Hyde clears action tokens, remove an anger token for each action token being removed from him. If there is an anger token on his card, Mr. Hyde can use sidestep and modify his attack and damage values by +1 for each anger token. Now, Mike, you played this figure in one of our events.
My goodness. I was running him with 3 tokens because he kept getting shot at, and my opponent just wasn't making the rolls. And I had sidestep, so I had just enough to move over, and I had +3 to my attack and +3 to my damage. And he has Masters of Evil keyword, so I just keep pushing him, and eventually, late dial, you're seeing it there, 12 attack with 4 damage with +3s. That's a 15 attack for 7 damage with flurry. That is 14 damage with 15 attack. Just, oh my goodness.
Now, obviously,
you wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
He does have a hulked out dial. That's a really good representation of that. He is kind of a ticking time bomb. You are going to use this figure as 100 points just to keep on pushing, get into the fight, and just kill stuff. He will die. You probably score 100 points, but you're going to get a lot more back if you deal, between 5 and 7 damage in the end tile there.
If you've got somebody to support him, like Dagger or any number of the support characters that you
keep
can
him
get to him,
keep him beside.
He can punch somebody, sidestep out, get healed, get attacked again, and just keep going. I mean, really, wow.
The fact he can keep the 2 tokens and get the +2s, whatever it is, or is it +3s he can get? No, it's +2s. Most he gets +2s.
How so?
Because he gets 1 for each. Oh, it's anger tokens, not action tokens.
Yep.
Anger tokens.
Anger tokens.
Okay.
+3.
Attacked.
For those of you dipping into the golden age, Anger's Hammer. +2 attack, regen, steal energy, constantly pushing, never slow me down. I'm rocking a 15 on my last dial. Just,
Man,
gorgeous.
that's rough.
Absolutely gorgeous. You wouldn't think it for really what some people may consider a B-list or no-name character. He was featured in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as Daisy Johnson's father, so I thought it was really cool.
Spoilers, if they haven't watched that.
Whoops, sorry, spoilers. Well, it's not all that big of a spoiler. They might not even know who Daisy Johnson is at this point if they haven't seen that far.
Maybe.
But, definitely a solid character. I really enjoyed him. Definitely a solid character.
Fair. Well, guys, that has been our review for the uncommons of Superior Foes of Spider-Man. Please tell us how you think we did and what your opinions on some of the pieces are as well. Always be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tell us how we're doing. And also, find us on Facebook and Twitter. We'll have links in the description below on all our videos going forward. So, Mike?
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys doing this. Hope it's been informative. And if we missed anything, please feel free to comment and pass that information around. Until next time, remember,
Strike first.
And strike hard.